All right, welcome in another episode of the Goodman, Hummel, and McCall podcast. I'm Jeff Goodman. He's Matt McCall. And yeah, after a 2-week hiatus, he's back. He's back again after sitting his ass for 2 weeks and doing
Yo,
nothing.
some of us work. It's crazy. But
Yeah.
from watching your lifestyle in Las Vegas, I want it. Oh my God. I want what you have, Jeff. Just don't do anything. Go to the best games. Hang out with people that are fun. I want that life.
Well, I hung out with you. I mean, that wasn't exactly fun at the blackjack
Get
table.
blasted on Twitter by people that think like you were paid to go out there.
I know. What's with
killing
that?
you? Just
Wait,
killing
what was
you.
that? I missed that.
Yeah, there were a bunch of
People were killing Goodman, like saying like the players there like paid him to go out there.
They probably did, honestly.
I mean,
bet they
Goodman,
did.
He called me and asked me to come, and I said, "Are you paying me?" And he says, "No." So I was like, "I'm not coming.
Yeah.
I'm not doing."
No,
it.
I think people couldn't believe that because people on TV didn't love the Players era because obviously it took away from, taken away from Maui, from Atlantis, from Orlando, from California, all the events of Feast Week. But what they don't understand is, well, you understand that I'm all about me and what it allows me to do.
Are you Lane Kiffin? Are you Lane Kiffin right now? Is that where we're going?
We're starting this in one spot. So for me, it's really good, and I don't give a shit about any. No, I do.
Well,
I do.
But
give
Jeff,
a shit.
couldn't you argue that those tournaments could step up, but they're going to have to evolve,
Right?
Yeah.
Like that. Like Maui could go. Now Maui has a problem in the sense that East Coast schools, you could use Duke, you could use UConn, you could use Florida. Anybody that's on the Eastern Seaboard coming home is awful. And even to the Midwest, like I think coaches fear that heavily. But like the Players era is paying money. And I think for some of these teams paying travel. And from what I understand, that's not the case with Maui. It's not the case for some of these other events. So I'm sad about Maui too, because from a watching as a kid type thing, man, the nostalgia of that event, it was the best one.
Yep.
But also these coaches don't want to play 3 games in 3 days. They want to play a max of 2 because in the tournament, they're going to play 2. I get that. So I think that those tournaments can still survive, but they're going to have to change, and money
they're
is
not
the big
paying
one.
$1 million. They're not. Everybody's wondering how, and Seth Berger and Ian Orphis, who are running the event, said that they're going to make money this year on the men's. They're not making money on year one of the women's.
Do you believe that? I did games out there, and I like the Players there because for the same reason. You can see a lot of really good teams, but there were some games out there where, man, my AAU games had more juice.
Well, yeah, you were at Rutgers. You were on the Thursday morning Rutgers UNLV game, correct?
I was, but I was also on the St. John's. Who'd they lose to? Who did St. John's lose to again on the last night that they played? My brain is not working.
Auburn.
Auburn. I was like, yeah, it wasn't Alabama. It was Auburn. Yes, I was there for that, and I wouldn't say the crowd was good.
They're not making their money off the gate. That's not
so
where
it's
they're
off.
making
It's
their
off
money.
TV. TV is paying them.
I don't even think TV is the big thing. I think the sponsors and whatever deal they have with whether it's Saudi money, I don't even know. I don't really care. And I don't think the teams care. Well, I don't think the teams care. As long as they're getting $1 million and the money went in the bank in the bank last year in their account, what do they care? They don't.
We got live golf.
Well. No,
live golf for colleges.
I'm just saying they get treated well. The event is run well. It is run well.
No, it is. It is run very well. It's run really well.
That's all I care about. Good matchups, a lot of them in one spot, so that when I go out, and I'm sure you guys are the same way.
So shrink the venue. Shrink the venue. I mean, if you think about it, when I mean shrink it, Maui is a high school gym. Battle for Atlantis is in a ballroom. But at least we have these MTEs that there's fans in the stands.
But you know who pays? You know who pays for the venues? They're venues that are MGM affiliated venues. So BetMGM is going to pay for that venue.
So
They're not
play it
paying
in
for
a
Bishop
ballroom.
Gorman.
The MGM has plenty of ballrooms. Play it in a ballroom.
Oh, come
shrink
on. You
the
want it in
venue.
a ballroom?
I
With
just
that
wanted
lighting?
to be more of like an environment where, to Robbie's point, it's not 1,000, like 6,000 empty seats in the stands.
We did have a good crowd. Like Kansas Syracuse was a good crowd.
Gonzaga had a good crowd.
Yeah, Gonzaga was
Yeah.
good. The Tennessee Houston game was a pretty good crowd.
Iowa State,
and that was
St.
you know, like
John's. Iowa State, St. John's was good.
And the MGM Grand Arena has some cool history. You know, like Tyson bit Holyfield's ear off there. So like there's been some cool stuff that's happened. So
But I would say this going forward. Don't you think that if you're a top team in the country, like I know Florida's going there next year, like I know like this is the event I'm trying to get into. Like this is what I'm trying to get into.
But I think they've got to figure out the point spread thing. There's too many teams that go like 3-0 and can't win, and that to me is weird. You know, like that. The point spread is not a great way, but it's I guess the only way with so many teams and not enough games. You know, you're not going to play out to
18 teams. They said with 18 that was the issue, but if they go to 32 next year and they have two 16-team basically deals each of the 2 weeks and break them up those into two 8-team brackets, I think they feel like they could do it. And the backlash of the point differential system was so great that I do think, listen, these guys are doing it by the seat of their pants. They didn't think in year 2 it would be this big. They are willing to adapt and change and figure things out as they move forward. I give them credit for that. I don't know. I mean, again, I have no issues with anything, even the point differential system. Yes, TJ Otzelberger, I'm sure, would have liked to have played for $300,000. And what he said was they had a chance to, if you remember, Milan had a chance to shoot a 3, I guess, at the buzzer against McDermott. And TJ said to me, if I had to do it 100 times, I would have done the same thing 100 times. I'm not running it up against, my mentor, Greg McDermott. So, it is what it is, but it's a good event.
That sounds like a good system.
That sounds
like a good system where, coaches are not willing to do what they need to do.
There's no way.
They got to fix that.
There's no way, though, that Michigan won $1 million and took a commercial flight home.
True. 100% true.
There's no way.
I'm telling you, they were on two commercial flights. One left at 6
sitting in the Las Vegas airport, like ding 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 ding, like,
trying to double up your cash.
Poor Mara was probably fighting to get an emergency exit row.
That's amazing.
Well, there was a good amount of teams that flew commercial out there. I was surprised just from the way that
money. You had your choice. Either you could pay for it, or you decided beforehand, I'm sure.
Like Rutgers supposedly flew and connected through New Orleans.
That's crazy.
I was like, wait, out of all the New York airports, they couldn't direct to Las Vegas?
That's insane.
They flew to New Orleans, supposedly.
They go Southwest.
They went like a whole day travel.
B-32. B-32.
Yeah, I don't know. That's crazy. They went to New Orleans and then connected to Vegas.
All I know is not everybody's a prima donna like you, Hummel. Not everybody has to fly first class.
I don't have to fly first class.
What he's saying is the fact that Rutgers had to fly to Vegas.
I just thought if you're flying
Newark and JFK are two of the biggest airports in the world.
Yeah, and
how do they not have a direct flight to Las Vegas?
Hey,
who's their ops guy?
All right, let's move on. Let's move on. So Hummel texts me the night before he's flying home, and he's like, "Hey, you want to meet? Play some blackjack." So we met over at the Aria, and my wife and daughter were there too. But there weren't enough spots. There weren't enough spots at tables.
Jeff wouldn't pay for them. He's too cheap.
That's not true.
Away.
And plus, they didn't want to play it at 25. They wanted to find a 15 minimum, so they went to Park MGM and found one.
It's Thanksgiving. Go ahead, my wife and daughter. Go ahead.
That's enough of me. So we sit down, Rob and I, and we sit down next to this what I thought was an inebriated couple at first. And,
I agree. That's fair.
And he was
of
probably
a big age disparity.
Big age disparity, Matt. Big age disparity. He must have been, what would you guess, Rob? Mid-50s?
55.
Mid-50s. And she looked like, at first I thought she was like in her late 20s. I thought she was in her late 20s. You too, Rob? At first?
Yeah, probably.
And they were hammered. They were hammered. They were two of the worst card players I've ever seen.
Honestly, this guy sunk Jeff's blackjack luck in the fastest fashion you could ever see. And then Jeff was so passive aggressive, like such a wimp. Instead of like being like, yo, you cannot hit this, he just kind of like let him do it. And then from there on, Jeff just took L's.
That's not true. I got on him.
Yes,
Once it started costing me money, I started telling him you can't.
This guy tried to stay on 10. He was so hammered and also like just so preoccupied with talking to his daughter that he was like, I'll stay. And then he was doubling down on stuff that you'd be like, yo, you cannot double down on this.
He was doing everything wrong. Everything wrong. But the most shocking discovery of the entire time that we were there was they were kind of like mushy with each other. They were a little bit too touchy-feely. So I just assumed they were together, Matt. And I think Rob did too, right, Rob?
I did. Yep, I did.
And then all of a sudden, she starts calling him dad.
Jeff starts up the conversation. And I forget what it was even about. You guys were talking about, I think, having daughters maybe. And then he was like, yeah, this is my daughter right here. We were like, whoa, what?
No, he was saying, like,
he was trying to cut her off, and she was talking about wanting to go to Tiffany's to get some jewelry. This was out of control.
We were just like, there's no way this is your daughter. But they kept, if it was an act, they did one hell of an acting job.
I walked into them after
were they counting cards?
You.
Were they counting cards?
No, they were the worst card players. They
couldn't even count, Matt. They couldn't count.
But I walked into them. I was walking back to my hotel from the Aria, and they were coming through that Crystals Mall. And they, again, were like very not like
handsy.
They were acting very strange. I don't know. Dude.
It was a little handsy.
You know what? Hey, and this is a perfect segue to our next segment.
But Jeff, why don't you talk about how you ended though? How did you end?
Yeah, I lost my money. I lost my money there.
But why? Because greed got the best of you.
Oh, I forgot about that. I forgot. So
greed
Rob
got the best of Jeff.
Rob
won $50, which is very not like I was basically up $50 from what I started with. So I was like, you know what? I'm either going to win 100 or I'm going to win 0. I'm going to put this on black. So I put the 50 on black, won, and then I was like, I'm keeping it out there. I'm going twice, and I won again. Jeff came in on the last one, and
I came in the second one.
I know the last one I just did. You came in on the last one.
Your second one, yes.
And we won, and then he wanted to do it all again. I was like, no, I'm not feeling it. And Jeff left it all out there. And he took an L.
Well, I thought I'd get all my winnings back, Matt, from the father-daughter or whatever.
He thought the casino owed him. He thought the casino owed him. Right. I feel that.
The casino always wins, Jeff.
That's true.
Hey, Matt, do you know where the supposed daughter, went to school?
I'm going to say LSU.
Close. Ole Miss.
Oh.
Ole Miss.
Oh.
So right now, she thought he was for sure gone, which was the case, obviously, with Lane Kiffin leaving.
She could do your job, Jeff.
Yeah, she knew. Yeah. She knew. She was the newsbreaker. A newsbreaker and a shitty card player. That's what she was. But not half as bad as her boyfriend or father. I still don't know.
He was so hammered.
Hammered. I mean, I'm telling you, I've been around some bad card players at blackjack tables.
And some bad drunks, probably.
This guy might be the worst I've ever been around.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine staying on 10 at any rate, but then the dealer is showing a 10.
Yeah.
I mean,
he was so drunk. He couldn't have been
awful.
He couldn't have been good.
Anyway, all right, Matt, it's your turn. You're a big college football guy, and I don't even want to. Not so much with college football, but overall, I want to get both of your thoughts on this situation of Lane Kiffin leaving Ole Miss when they are a team and going to LSU in the middle of the season when Ole Miss has a legitimate chance to win a national title. How the hell do you walk away from that? Like that's crazy.
I don't know who's to blame. Everyone wants to talk about the calendar. Everyone wants to talk about the portal. Everyone wants to talk about NIL and all this. Like, we've never seen something like this on our side in college basketball. I mean, what's a comparison? Last year, Kevin Willard to Villanova. Like,
that's the closest thing.
Like that,
but that wasn't that wasn't.
But he still coached. He still coached in the Sweet 16.
Like, the only complaint, Matt, would be that he was coaching with one foot out the door. So that's how Maryland fans would say about that.
Like, that's the only thing. Like, Jay Lucas as an assistant coach taking the Miami job, you can't blame him for doing that, becoming a head coach. Like, you can't do that.
The only one I can think of, Matt, the only one I can think of was back in when Bill Frieder left Michigan after the NCAA tournament for Arizona State. Remember? That got out there, and Bo Schembechler told them he was done. And that's when Steve Fisher replaced them and won, and they won the national title.
Here's the only thing I'll say. Like, like from a coach's perspective and trying to defend a coach, and I am by no means trying to defend Lane Kiffin, because I can't even imagine just saying we're in the playoff. Like, in the college football playoffs, different from, it's not just like you just snuck yourself into the NCAA tournament. Like, you're in the college football playoff. Like, you have to win, 4 games to win the whole thing, and you're walking away right now. So I'm not trying to defend him. But I do know, and I have friends that were interviewing for jobs last season during the college basketball season while they're still coaching. They're doing Zoom interviews. So it's like, it's one of these things, like the athletic director's firing your coach in the middle of the season and then trying to hire a coach while the coach is still coaching. Like, are they to blame? Is it the calendar? Is it the schedule? But something has to change. Like something has to change. But for a coach who his players are like, they're trying to buy in.
I don't think anything is to change. This is Lane Kiffin being all about himself and not understanding. Like, I don't shut up.
I don't disagree. But you know this, Jeff. Last year during the college basketball season, coaches that were coaching their team are interviewing for jobs.
100%.
Zooms, yes. ADs flying in. Like, how is that okay?
It wasn't the first year. That wasn't the first year that was happening. This is, it's more prevalent now. It's more prevalent now because of the portal, right? That ADs feel this pressure to, but this wasn't that case. This was Lane Kiffin saying, I can't shut my mouth long enough, because ultimately, yes, it would have hurt. If LSU wanted him that badly, they would have waited for him. They would have waited till the end of the season. If he's your guy, shut your mouth and deal with it. Willard did it. Like, people knew kind of what was going on. You know, Will Wade did it. People kind of knew what was going on.
Well, Will Wade was honest about
it. But it was a different level. So, yes, honest.
Will Wade was on, but completely different level. Like, he's not. Will Wade went from McNeese State to NC State. Like, come on, man. Like, nobody's going to discount. Like,
I just think
this guy's going in the same side of the conference.
All you had to do was shut your mouth.
In the same league.
All you had to do was shut your mouth and not.
But don't you think also the big part is him having just the audacity to think he should be able to coach the team after you've already spurned them and gone to LSU, and has like major members of the college football media saying, yeah, he should be. I'm like, what? What school in their right mind would allow that after you leave? And he's probably I don't know. I saw where he said in his thing there'd be guardrails, but you can't tell me that he's not poaching every assistant and every player he wants to go with LSU, whether
100%.
he leaves today or whether he leaves after coaching the team to the playoff. I can't believe that anybody would have the arrogance to be like, yeah, I can definitely just do this. That's like absurd. That's absurd.
Insane.
And within your own league. It's not like he's going to
and if
some,
you're coaching against them too, aren't you like, look what this guy just did? If
Yeah.
you're recruiting against him, like, look what this guy just did. Oh, he's loyal. He's going to be loyal to you.
No, you know what he is. I mean, he's a henchman. Like, you know what he is. I mean, that's what he is. And again, he's entertaining as hell, and he's a really good football coach. Obviously, there's no denying that. But yeah, I mean, to me, it could have been handled a whole lot better.
But I want to go back to the basketball side of things. Yeah. Like, don't you feel like we have to change something that this doesn't happen? That coaches aren't.
But how do you? What do you change though, Matt? Like, what,
I don't know, Robbie. I don't know. But like interviewing, like firing a coach in February and interviewing coaches for the job. Now I get like last year.
Well, and football, because of the way that it rolls with the second semester, that makes it hard, right? Men's basketball, you could have, all right, the portal doesn't open until 2 days after the Final Four, but then you've got to have a short window, so that's kind of squeezing the players, you could argue. Yeah. But with that being said, you'd have to put in like, all right, if we catch you tampering, it is like major penalties. That'd be the only thing that you could do. And even then, dude, you know how the back channeling all is in this stuff. Like these ADs are talking to agents and they're talking to the placement firms and all that stuff. And
well, I think on the basketball side too, like we've had some unique situations, right? Like Tony Bennett leaving October 20th.
Or Bruce Pearl, hanging
Jim Larinaga leaving,
mid-season
during the year, like making a decision to move on Leonard Hamilton. So you had like 3 high-level ACC jobs where the ADs are trying to get ahead of it.
Yeah, because of the portal,
they have to start having.
No, they feel like they have to. They feel like they have to at the portal, or otherwise your team is just going to be,
Otherwise, you can start. What the old way was. The ADs would go out, they'd fly out, they'd go to the NCAA tournament sites, they'd watch as many coaches as they could, they'd talk to agents, like you said, they'd talk to search firms, but they wouldn't necessarily talk to the coaches themselves. Now, yeah, the big difference
they're having Zooms.
Right. That's the
in
big
the middle of the season.
Yeah. No, it's not good for anybody, but that's unfortunately the landscape we're living in right now because of the portal. And because these ADs are basically, they have some leverage. If it's that good a job, they have the leverage to say, hey, if you don't interview now, you know what? I got to hire somebody. I got to hire somebody. I can't wait for you to get knocked out.
The interviews were taking place at the Final Four.
Yeah.
I mean, I got Chattanooga a week after the Final Four when I was yelling at you to stop putting out there that Billy Donovan was taking the Thunder job, which a month later, he took the Thunder job. I was yelling.
Who lost dinner? Who lost dinner on that one?
I was like, stop putting that out there because you're hurting us in recruiting right now. Knock it off. Knock it off.
Good job, Jeff.
You and Berno.
Florida's recruiting.
You and Berno both. I don't think you paid up your dinner. I'm not even sure you paid up yet.
What are you talking about? Berno just beat Loyola Chicago. Shout out to Berno. Come on.
Both of you owe me a dinner from that still. All right. Let's get to on the court, and the biggest story of the week was clearly the Michigan Wolverines. Incredible what they did there. They absolutely boat raced San Diego State, Auburn, and Gonzaga back to back to back with a lineup that many of us, I think all 3 of us included, were kind of concerned about with this 3 big lineup, whether it would work. Not only did it work, I mean, it's got the Michigan Wolverines to whereas we're going to put this podcast out on Monday, and I won't be surprised. I mean, they're going to be 1 or 2. To me, it's Purdue and Michigan. Whatever order you want to put them in, I'm fine. but they are 1-2 after that performance. I've never seen anything like it on back-to-back-to-back days, right? I've seen it, maybe, and I'm not even sure I've seen 3 dominant victories like that, even if you did them back-to-back and then a day off and then playing. Whatever it is, it was crazy with that team, Rob, because you had questions about them, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, offensively, of course. I think when I ran into you at the MGM Grand and we were briefly chatting about Michigan, I didn't get to watch any of their games because I will say in doing the players there, I can't imagine coaching in the players era because I talked to an assistant coach, so they had 10 scouts they didn't use. Think about that. You have 10 scouts. We were finding out what games you have at like 10 p.m. and doing them the next morning at 10. Like, so you're really prepared.
Maybe if you had prepared instead of playing golf earlier in the season, maybe you would have been prepared.
I could have read who's on their roster.
Yeah,
what could I have done? They're 10 games into this now.
Great job saving somebody in Charleston tonight, by the way. Good job.
I did. I
we heard
somebody just now.
Good job.
I'm the good Samaritan. Yeah. You guys would have walked right over her.
Okay.
When she fell, she tripped on the streets of Charleston, and Hummel would have walked right over her. I guarantee it. Right over her. But instead,
you are insane.
I pulled the car around.
All right, we don't care. We don't care about
made
your
sure
story.
Circle back.
But the fact that they guard at that level, and look, San Diego State is working through some things. I think Auburn is still working through some things. Gonzaga, that's a pretty impressive number to hang on that. But yeah, the big lineup, and certainly Elliot Cadeau, I think certainly that he's going to have to continue to answer. Can he be the point guard they need him to be? But with Lendeborg, Johnson, and Mara like that. That is pretty wild. It is pretty wild. And I didn't get to watch, but Roddy Gale, it seems like, has had good moments for them after kind of being all over the place last year. Nimari Burnett is a solid player. So, yeah, I have to say I'm impressed. I think everybody is impressed.
It seemed like last year some of the guys on the team had issues with everything kind of running through Danny Wolf and Vlad Golden. Where's there some jealousy? And they end up winning the Big Ten tournament. So it's look, they still had a heck of a year, but to see the balance that this team has, and they have 7 guys that average between 8 and 16 points.
Crazy.
So there's not an alpha. There's not a guy that's getting 20. And you go back to last year and it's okay, we know the 4-5 pick and rolls happening. We know that the ball is going to be in Danny Wolf's hands. We know that, they're going to run that and they're going to initiate offense through those 2 guys. It seems like Dusty May has figured out this roster in terms of everyone being able to accept their roles, right? I was a GA and an ops guy on the back-to-back national championship teams, and there was 5 guys averaging double figures, and nobody averaged more than 15, 16 points a game. And when you have that, that's a dangerous team. That is a dangerous team because of how unselfish they are. And I think Dusty figured that out in the offseason of, okay, maybe we were running too much offense through these 2 guys. And this is not, I got no inside information, even though I'm friends with Dusty. But how do we create more balance? I have been very critical of Elliot Cadeau. Even when he took him, I'm sitting there
me too.
I don't know. Yep. Is he the right fit? Is he the right guy? And he's out there getting 6 assists a game? So maybe he's being more accepting of, this is my role. I need to facilitate. I need to get guys involved. I don't have to worry so much about scoring. We had highs and lows at North Carolina. No, I'm trying to win a national championship. And they are a top 5 team in the country. And coming out of Wake Forest and coming out of TCU, everybody's sitting there going, really? What's the problem? But I think the balance that they have is super impressive. And I think Dusty realized that coming out of last year.
So you look down at one of the big concerns was shooting, and you look at it right now, and Burnett's shooting 44, and McKinney is shooting 42, and Roddy Gale 39, and even Cadeau's shooting 37, right? So, and Yaxel's shooting almost 40. I think part of it is that they have such great passers at three spots, right?
Yes.
Cadeau's an elite passer for his position. Yaxel's an elite passer for his position. Mara's an elite passer for his position. I think that makes it so that, again, you're getting a lot of guys when they're moving the ball like this that get uncontested shots. They're going to look better shooting the ball than they would, obviously, if they're playing in a different system with different players. So,
but it's moving, Jeff. Like, it's moving. The ball is moving.
The ball is moving.
Like last year, it was those two dudes. Like it was the two of them, and rightfully so. But he's almost figured that out. Like, you go back to his best team at FAU when they made the Final Four run, that ball moved. It did not stick. It moved. It changed sides of the floor, and that's what this team is doing.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Listen, they're the best team today because of what they've done, right? Those 3 games, blowing out Gonzaga by 40, makes them the best team in college basketball today, I think. But again, that doesn't mean they're going to be the best team in a month. They've got an easy road here. If you look at their games, the next 10 games, I don't have it right in front of me right now, but they're going to be heavy favorites in every single one of them. I bet they lose one. I don't think they go 10-0 in that stretch. I'd be shocked.
Yeah, I mean, I still think it's hard for me to put them ahead of Purdue.
Their resume is a little more impressive.
Do you think it is, Jeff? Do you think it's more impressive than Arizona? I know Florida maybe hasn't been, but winning it at UConn,
without Terrace Reed and Braylon Mullins.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Like I don't think, to be honest, I tweeted this, and of course, anytime my alma mater thinks I hate them, I put 3 teams in a top tier for me, and that is Michigan today again, Purdue, Michigan, and to me UConn. I think those are the top 3 teams in the country.
But how do you not put Arizona in that mix?
Because I don't think Florida. I don't think they shoot it well enough. That's my seeing Arizona in person. I know they beat UConn at UConn, but they beat him without their starting center and a potential first-round pick in Braylon, maybe even a lottery pick in Braylon Mullins. Probably their best shooter, pure shooter. So it was a heck of a win, but I think they caught him at the right time. And Florida is Florida. Like, they're not great right now. They're not great.
I will say there's a lot of teams, as you look at their resumes, at least on KenPom, as I'm just kind of clicking through, where they have wins that are thought of as really good. Like, you could use Purdue as an example. All right, that Texas Tech game, really impressive. Well, they're 28 in KenPom right now, right? And granted, they were 15 when they beat them. Or you think of Iowa State, they beat St. John's. Well, St. John's is 18 in KenPom, right? That. So maybe you are right. I don't know. I think there's a lot of teams you could argue have as good of a resume as Michigan, and you could at least hear them out.
That one win.
They no question, the 40-pointer over Gonzaga.
Yeah, that one win, the way they won it, and then the way they won the games prior, and then beating Auburn the way they did, and then watching Auburn beat St. John's. I feel like
we need to talk about that St. John's Auburn game.
Okay. Yeah, you were there.
Yes, I was. And I give Stephen Pearl's group a lot of credit for finding a way to win that game. But there is no way that St. John should have lost that game.
As you know by now, we have teamed up with BetMGM again this season. We'll be using BetMGM lines to make all of our picks, and we will have special offers for Field of 68 fans, including same-game parlays, best-in-class live betting, and daily odds boost. If you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code FIELD to get up to a $1,500 first bet offer on your first wager with BetMGM. Here's how it works. You download the BetMGM app, you sign up using bonus code FIELD, you deposit at least $10 and place your first wager on any game, and you receive up to $1,500 in bonus bets if your bet loses. Just make sure you use that bonus code FIELD when you sign up. Make this college basketball season one for the history books. Make it legendary. And don't forget, if you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code FIELD and get your $1,500 first bet offer today.
Are you trying to follow everything happening in college basketball? It can be overwhelming. That's where the Field of 68 Daily comes into play. The Daily is your go-to source for recruiting news, game analysis, portal updates, and much, much more. For just $50 a year, you get access to the same information that your favorite coaching staff is subscribed to. Quality content can be hard to find in the college basketball space. The Daily is here to help. Make sure you subscribe today.
If you're not a member of the Field of 68's On3 community, make sure to go check us out. Get access to all of Jeff Goodman and Rob Doster's written content, including coaching carousel breakdowns, info on who is and isn't entering the transfer portal, insider recruiting information from none other than Joe Tipton, X's and O's analysis of all the teams in college basketball, and access to our message board community. A 7-day trial costs you $1. The Field of 68 On3. Get the scoop.
And with the foul trouble that Auburn found themselves in, with their lack of size in that game, and Keyshawn Murphy having like 3 fouls at the half, it should have been Zuby Ejiofor inside every time. And I know he wants to play on the perimeter. That's a situation where you say, not today. Duck in, offensive rebound. You throw the ball inside him. Now, the St. John's guards have got to actually do it. There was multiple times where he has position, defenders on his back, he's showing you 2 hands. That thing's got to get zipped inside, and it never will.
Who are the guards that you trust?
I don't
can make
give a
shit
about
pass?
Anyone can fire a pass at this dude's chest. Dude.
I can do
hear
it.
You.
Ball fake.
It's not that hard. It's not that hard. I don't care if you have every guard as a scorer. They can throw the ball.
They can throw the ball into the post. The ball's got to go.
And then at the end of that game, they just had no answer for Pettiford or Keyshawn Hall. But it was a game that St. John's messed around and let them stay in it, and then just couldn't deal with the scoring that those two bring. And, Auburn has gotten at times so stagnant. I mean, to the point where Pettiford and Hall are just playing one-on-one. But, yeah, St. John's has some issues to iron out. They totally do. They totally do.
I agree. I mean, I'm not – again, it was point guard play for me was always the case because Ian Jackson's not a point guard. I was hoping –
And Dylan Darling was not a factor.
No, he's a WCC level point guard after watching him in person. That's what he is. He went from Idaho State. He should have gone to the WCC, and he could have been a good point guard in that league. But he is not good enough to start for a St. John's team that has aspirations of, winning the Big East again and going to a Final Four. No way in hell. So what do you do, McCall? If you don't have a point guard, how do you mask that issue?
I mean, you turn up the heat defensively, which has been the issue for them too. Like if you look at some of their losses, they've given up 80 plus. They can't guard, and you're thinking of a Rick Pitino coach team. Like how is that possible? I mean, does he get back to picking up full court, run and jump, full court press? Like go back to the Kentucky days of doing that, and try to create steals and get points off turnovers. I don't know if this roster is built to do that, but still don't shoot it great from the perimeter. I mean, they're not in the top 100 in 3-point field goal makes. They're not in the top 100 in 3-point field goal percentage. They're not in the top 100 in 3-point field goal attempts. I don't think they're top 200 in that. Yeah. So they're not shooting it great, and they've struggled defensively. I mean, that's not a recipe to beat UConn. I'll just say that. I mean, that is not – UConn is clearly head and shoulders above anybody else in that league. And it's really not even close at this point in time in the season. Like at this point in time, I don't know how you fix the whole point guard thing. I think you got to fix the issues on the defensive end of the floor. Like you got to fix that. And to Robbie's point, like Zuby has to swallow his pride a little bit at some point in time and say, look, I'm trying to be a pro. I want to prove to everybody that I can shoot threes and I can play on the perimeter and do all this. No, man. Set a screen, roll the basket, spread pick and roll, throw back off the pick and roll, and post your ass up and throw it into them and let him go to work. And be the most physical guy on the floor.
He's the best offensive rebounder in the country. And you can't be a good offensive rebounder when you're parked at the 3-point line.
No.
His offensive rebound numbers are way down from last year. That dude is just a stud at pursuing offensive rebounds. They need him down there.
You know, I saw the one against Iowa State, and I'm saying to myself, they have Blake Buchanan, the only veteran big guy for Iowa State in foul trouble. I think he had 3. I don't know, a few minutes left in the first half, and or maybe early second half. Whatever the case, Iowa State had like 2 young freshman bigs in there, and they still out-rebounded St. John's. That's an embarrassment. To me, St. John's has been an embarrassment. When you've got a front line where you can throw Zuby, Bryce Hopkins, and Dylan Mitchell out there together, and you do it a lot, how can you not be dominating people in the glass? Everybody. Forget about Iowa State. Again, with a young, they should be killing them. And then Auburn without one of their better bigs who was hurt in that game, right? And didn't play, the young big, right?
Yeah, he didn't play.
Right. I mean, this is a joke.
But even like go back to the Iowa State game and go back to the last possession. Why is Zuby Ejiofor shooting a 3 to try and win the game?
You know why?
What?
You know why?
Why?
Why do you think, Matt?
To prove to everybody that he can do it.
To prove to who? Not everybody. To prove to who?
To NBA scouts? I don't know.
Correct.
Like that's fine. Like make a corner 3, like if you have to, but to shoot that shot with the game on the line, with all that's on the line, and it was so like slow developing the whole play too. It's like, oh man, like this is not what we need you to do at this moment in time in the game. This is not what we need you to do.
Isn't he shooting a decent percentage on the year? I mean, he's 3 of 7. He made a couple in the Bama game, which you have to think might be like some of the fool's gold of like you make 2, like all of a sudden you think and 7's not a lot over the course of these games.
To shoot a 3 with a game on a line?
No. He should not be doing that. He should not be doing that. That's not where you want to go.
And it wasn't like a catch and shoot 3.
Right.
It was like a dribble handoff where he's like, no, he shot it off the bounce.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah, they got a lot to figure out.
Who is the most surprising team of the young season? We're now in December. By the time this comes out, we'll be in December. Is it Michigan? Clearly. Is it Michigan State? Is Michigan State better than Michigan? Are we sleeping on the Spartans who have gotten off to a great start, even though, again, Tom Izzo has stayed true to his kind of...
What kind of question is this, after you just said that Michigan has by far the best resume in the country?
I'm asking you guys, would you take long-term, I'll rephrase it, long-term, are you buying stock in Michigan State or Michigan, Matt?
I love how you go to me first. Yeah. Like I'm the Big Ten guy. Okay. Like
man, let's hear you to say.
Like you throw it to me. I know I'm in studio a bunch for the Big Ten. I think it's an argument. Like, I mean, Fear's almost averaging a double-double on the season. And to see how hard, like, did you see Tom Izzo in the North Carolina game? Like, just basically, like, just ripping his ass and how hard he coaches him. And the kid just continues to respond. I mean, the balance to me that Michigan is playing with on the offensive end of the floor, I give them the slight edge. But Tom Izzo has 741 wins for his career. And as you look at him, you think, oh, this guy's grumpy.
How many more is that than Dusty?
He's at the end of the day. He's at the end. He's still doing, and he's coaching the same way he coached Mateen Cleaves when they won the 2000 national championship.
Yeah.
He hasn't changed.
No.
He has not changed one bit.
Nope.
And to see how Fears responds when he coaches them that way, that to me is really impressive. I give Michigan the slight edge, but I mean, their resume, like that, Arkansas, Kentucky. And we don't know where Kentucky is right now. They're still trying to figure some things out.
Yeah.
Arkansas, I do think, is really talented. They're still trying to figure some things out. But to beat Carolina the way that they did down here and over in Fort Myers, the Duke game coming up this weekend, we'll find out a lot about them. But if they beat Duke, whew.
Yeah, that'll be a heck of a game. Heck of a crowd.
Top three, like elevate.
Who do you got, Rob? Rob, who are you taking? Michigan, State?
I'm going Michigan still, but I just think that Michigan State, if they shoot the ball like this with the role definition that they have and the style of play definition that they have, they'll guard. You know that they're going to rebound, and certainly they're going to run. But if they're shooting the ball like this, that's a scary team with a point guard that Tom Izzo loves. You are literally being like, what ingredients do you want, coach? He would name those 4 things. He'd be like, we're in business with that. So I'll go Michigan for now, but if Michigan State at the end of the year is still shooting the ball like this, it could very well be the Spartans. I'm going to throw out, and again, my scope can get narrow especially the players there, because you're just saying who you're seeing. I was impressed with Kansas and it wasn't because it was the prettiest thing I've ever seen. That Syracuse game. Syracuse is one of the worst foul shooting teams I think I've ever seen, which is saying something. It was, and the Notre Dame game wasn't exactly like it wasn't because of the prettiness, but it's because of the grit and toughness for the Tennessee game. And to do what they're doing without Darren Peterson, their front court, I think has a real chance. Flory obviously is a very good player, but then you think about Bryson Tiller and how skilled he is, and those two guys next to each other. If Melvin Council plays the way that he did against Tennessee, and you do get Peterson back, and you have Bill as the coach, Bill Self, we could be looking at Kansas in a whole different way in a month or two. We really could. I was impressed they were able to find a way to win 3 games in Vegas.
No, I'm with you.
I got one more team too. I don't think we're talking enough about Vanderbilt.
Yeah, agreed.
Duke Miles is getting 20 a game. I think Mark Byington is one heck of a basketball coach. Yep. And I know that they haven't played St. Mary's, VCU, like they played some solid teams. They haven't played the upper echelon of teams that in their league a Florida's played or an Arkansas has played or a Kentucky has played. They're still undefeated. And to see what Byington has done in a short amount of time, taking over a program that was not in a good place, like not in a good place at all, is really impressive. I know they're in the top 25, but keep an eye on that squad because the SEC is not as good as it was last year. It's not in the same, tier right now as the Big Ten or the Big 12, in my opinion. It's not in that same tier. But that team, don't be surprised where they finish. Do not be surprised because he's a heck of a basketball coach.
So I'm going to add one on to that, and that's Iowa State for me.
Yeah,
watching him multiple times out there, and think about this. They lose Taman Lipsey to that groin injury with 2 minutes left in that game against St. John's. They pull it out without him. And the kid, Killian Torrey, the freshman from Brewster Academy, was phenomenal. Not known as a shooter, made enough shots. Known as a defender, also ran the team and ran it really well. And obviously, you're talking about Joshua Jefferson being one of the best all-around players, offensive players in college basketball. Buchanan was good enough, obviously, and you got Milan who can shoot the hell out of the ball this year. But it's a culture thing. It really is with them. And I hate how people throw that word around so often, but it pertains to TJ Otzelberger and what he's built names, because those dudes play the right way. They're tough. You know, they're going to fight you on they're going to play the same way every game and every possession. If you don't,
Jeff, they make you feel uncomfortable with the way they help and load. They load to the ball in a way that, like, you can't post up on the block against them. You can't drive the baseline against them, because they're just waiting to really make you pay for it, right? Like, it's fun to watch them play defense, which I don't think you'd say about a lot of.
And they've been
unique.
Like that.
It's unique, right? Unique. Like the way that they play is different.
All right, so give me McCall, since you know. I know I'm going to rub off on you a little bit here.
Matt's first again.
Oh my God!
Well, we've talked about the positivity, the surprising teams so far. What are the teams that you're just like, man, what the hell is wrong with them? Like, they just, I can't believe this team is.
You'd love for me to do this. Like, you love.
You're the only one.
You love.
I'm not even going to weigh in on this. It's just you.
You like to put me in this place. You know, I like to be the positive guy. Okay, you love to. Yes. I mean, I think some head scratchers. St. John's is a head scratcher. Yep. I mean, I had them in the Final Four starting the season. I just felt like coming out of the last season, how it ended for them. That Coach Pitino would have these guys in a place to make a Final Four, and they still may, and win a national championship, but it's not looking like that right now by any means. I was super high on UCLA. Like, I thought Donovan Dent going out there and with Tyler Bilodeau, like, this team was going to be, and they were right there, went toe-to-toe with Arizona. I mean, they had every opportunity to win that game. But that's another one for me, and he's had some comments in the media on, where his program at and how he feels about his program. I thought they were another team that can make a Final Four, and I'm not saying they can't. So those are the two that stand out for me. I'm not at all surprised with Florida struggles. I'm not, and when we say struggle, lose to TCU, lose to Arizona, being a tight game against a Florida State team who I think Luke Laux is doing a really good job with that team. You lose Walter Clayton, you lose, Will Richard, who's snapping passes to Steph Curry for threes right now, and you lose Elijah Martin. I mean, those are three really big losses. And the guys that they replaced them with aren't those guys. So I'm not sitting here being like Florida. I still think Florida can get to the second weekend of the NCAA tournament. They got to figure some things out. But the St. John's thing it's a head scratcher to me, because I felt like going into the season, I thought they could win a national championship.
Rob?
Ditto on St. John, same on UCLA. Like the benching of starters, and I did the Arizona game. They really played well. Like the end of the game, they did, but they were right there, like Matt kind of talked about. I would throw Kentucky in there, because in their two tests, you're kind of like, what is happening? And then just like the comment about, after the Louisville game about whatever happened that I don't know if anybody knows. And even just seeing Mark Pope's interviews where he's like despondent, like it's a long season. You don't normally see a coach react to one or two losses in a way that he looked just miserable. So that's been strange. I think you could throw Oregon in there. Nate Biddle being hurt, definitely not ideal, but to go 0-3 out in the Players era to Auburn, San Diego State, and then a Creighton team that is struggling pretty much the same way that, you could throw Creighton in there, I guess. Now, granted, we talked about on one of our early podcasts that they could be a team that was overranked going into the year, replacing all that they had to.
Yeah. They're overranked because of their coach.
No question, and rightfully so. Yeah. McDermott has been phenomenal. Owen Freeman looks injured, or like he does not look right. I think that pretty much covers it for me.
I'll give you one more. The Big East.
Well, I was going to hit Providence.
I mean,
I was going to hit Providence. It's 4-4, Matt. And
Providence, Marquette. Yeah. Like this weekend for the Big East, playing against two SEC teams. Like when you think about it, Providence playing against Florida, Marquette playing against Oklahoma. You're like, okay, these are two gettable games. I mean, I think Florida's clearly way better than Providence, but it's a neutral site. It's out in California. You could get it. Like, you could win the game. You could get hot, make some shots. Oklahoma, I know it's Porter Moser was like back in Chicago. It was like, first of all, I don't understand why that game was being played at UIC. I have no idea why they were playing that game there. But,
you don't like UIC Stadium?
I just don't know why the game was being played. Not a shot on UIC by any means. Like, not, but like, why was that game being played?
That's a random location here.
It was so random, but it was
Wintrust Arena would have been good for
it. Was a one possession game. It was a one possession game, and Marquette had the ball to win, and got off a terrible shot. So you're thinking at the Big East, you're like, okay, these are two gettable games, and you didn't get either one. And UConn flexing their muscles is 2 notches right now above anybody else in that league. Like 2.
Right.
St. John's is going to be there. St. John's will be in the NCAA tournament. You're high on Georgetown, and then they don't perform well down in Orlando.
Nope.
Right? Like they don't play great. I mean, is it Butler? Should we be giving Dad Modest some more love? Is it DePaul?
No, Butler has probably been the biggest surprise out of that league.
Seton Hall
too. Shaheen Holloway. I will say for St. John's, how big is that game on December 20th against Kentucky? Because right now their best win is Baylor.
They need Kentucky to be good. They need Kentucky to beat Gonzaga on Friday.
Yeah. They need. I'm
gonna give you one here. I have the team that I think is the biggest surprise of the season, and you guys haven't said it.
Positively or negatively?
Negative.
Of course, you're going to go negative. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
They're 1-7. The Ramblers of Loyola Chicago. They are 1-7. 1-7.
Pick to finish in the top 3 of the A10. Probably.
Here's who they've lost to. You ready? Here's who they lost to.
Sean Burnow.
Mercyhurst. I'm going in order. They won their first game against Cleveland State. They're on a 7-game losing streak. They lost to Mercyhurst at home, North Texas at Wichita, Colorado State at home, Northern Illinois at home, your boy Burnow, neutral Northern Iowa, and then San Jose State, Timmy Miles, also on a neutral. 1-7. I mean,
you really did your homework for this one, Jeff. I'm impressed.
No, but that's crazy.
Head scratcher because they were picked to. I mean, a lot of people have them in the top.
They got money.
Top 4, top 3 of the A10.
They got money.
I mean, Dayton, VCU, St. Louis is really good. Loyola Chicago was like probably next.
Hey, I just saw a kid. I just saw a kid that might be as cool of a story as there is. I don't know if you guys saw my tweet from earlier today, but I went down.
You can't follow you all. Like, you keep asking me, have I seen your tweets? Like, I don't like. I
You don't look.
I mean, I look. But
did you mute me, McCall?
What's that?
Did you mute me?
No, I would never mute you. Right. Even when you put me on the hot seat at UMass, like, I would never mute you.
That's messed up, Matt. You should never agree to this podcast if Jeff did that to you.
I don't think I put him on. I think I had him on
you
from the day he was
did.
hired.
You had me on from the day I was hired.
I think he was on there from the day he was hired because Hummel, he and Brett Nelson got hired about the same time.
Not true. Inaccurate statement.
All right.
Inaccurate statement.
The same vicinity, whatever. The bottom line is they both came from the deep south, and like, you can't hire somebody that us Northeasterners can't even understand. Like, couldn't understand what the hell these guys were saying.
Are you listening to Matt talk? You act like Matt talks like with this hillbilly accent. He talks totally normal. Dude, that's crazy.
What did you say when Pat Kelsey got hired? Because I took over for him. What did you say when he got hired?
Pat's a Midwesterner, at least. We can understand.
Oh, wow.
Okay. He loves them in Charleston, Louisville.
Until he was throwing bows at the those Houston kids. Those kids, Bryson Gresham and DeJon Jarreau, till he was throwing bows and trying to figure out what the financial situation was. Anyway, all right, Tyler Lundblade is an incredible story, boys. He plays at Belmont, and he was the nation's best three-point shooter a year ago. I think he shot 48% from 3. He started his career, I forget what order. You guys can look it up right now. SMU, TCU 2 years, and then SMU a year. And I believe he scored 8 points. He was a walk-on at both spots. He eventually earned a scholarship at both spots, but never played. He goes to Belmont last year and ends up being a really good player. I don't have it in front of me what he averaged. If one of you wants to pull that up. Tyler Lundblade. Tell me what he averaged last year.
Well, you really know your story well.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what he averaged.
Jeez.
How do you spell Lundblade? Okay.
I got it.
It isn't hard. Just tell me what he averaged.
He's averaging 16 a game right now.
What did he average last year?
12.
12 a game. 12 a game at Belmont. Could have probably put his name in the portal and made a lot more money. And I talked to him after the game, and he said, listen, I understand, like, I fit here. I fit this system. I fit Casey Alexander. And I feel like I would have more of an opportunity here that obviously he didn't get. If he transfers back up to the high major level, who knows if he plays again. But scoring 8 points his first 3 years of college basketball, and then getting an opportunity last year, and then this year being even better. Watching him and the way, obviously he's an elite pure shooter, but he's really expanded his game. He can put it on the floor now. He's got good size, and it was just fun to watch. And their team, man, they smacked the hell out of Charleston. They're 8-0. They're one of 25 undefeated
but
teams.
Belmont's program, they've been really good for a long time. And props to him for showing some loyalty. That's refreshing.
Yeah, Rick Byrd.
In this day and age.
Obviously, what Rick Byrd did for that program, and now Casey Alexander taking over. And this is his best team because they can guard. That's the difference. They can always score, but this team is better defensively than any of the teams he's had.
Do you guys think, real quick before we get done, that we have totally killed the mid-major? Like, will we have any upsets? Or is Belmont a team? I haven't seen them, obviously, but could they be a team that win a game in the tournament?
Yeah. With the way they score, absolutely. They can shoot.
I just think the size differential, like last year I was in Seattle, so I saw Arizona, Oregon, Maryland, and the teams that those Power Conference teams played, Liberty, Akron, I'm blanking who the third one was, but they're tiny. So unless they make 15 or 16 threes and somehow have the greatest rebounding game, I think the point guards are 5'9", 5'10", and Arizona's throwing Jaden Bradley out there, 6'5". They tower. I just think the mid majors, they get picked off with skill and size. They just don't have the size to compete at that, unless you play the perfect game.
Yeah, I was actually shocked, Robbie. I called the Minnesota-San Francisco game, and I think San Francisco's lost since that game. But I'm watching shoot around. I'm like, these dudes are massive for a mid-major.
For San Francisco?
Yes. Yeah. Like massive. And I think Chris Gerlofson's a heck of a coach. But I agree with you. You run into, can someone from the Southern Conference pick off someone in the NCAA tournament? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Can an A-10 team? Can, Robbie Adelaw, who's been in college for 8 years,
or a Colorado State last year, but that's different. I'm talking about the Valparaisos from '98.
You're talking about the one big league.
You're talking about the one big leagues. You're talking about the Southern Conference, or the Missouri Valley, or.
But I did Bucknell St. John a week and a half ago, and their best player got paid over $1 million to go to Alabama. He never plays.
Never.
Dude doesn't play. And at least that's what the word was around their program. You never know what is true or what's not, but he was that. That's the player of the year in their league. You lose those types of guys.
Well, you look at Chattanooga from last year. They win the NIT.
Yeah.
I mean, people were plucking guys off their roster left and right. They win the NIT.
There aren't many. I'll say this: a Liberty, who I saw play twice in person. I love them to death, but they are small. They were small
last year. They ran awesome offense, but they were just so overwhelmed with the size and physicality.
Yeah, a High Point. they're not huge, but they're big. They're at least big on the wing and the guard spots. So maybe I could see them. But yeah, I mean, you're right. There aren't many anymore because, frankly, the problem is those guys who look the part now, they're going to be poached. They're going to be poached.
Now, I think that it does make for some incredible second weekends. Like that's I suppose, silver lining. But I think if you polled the average college basketball fan, what is their favorite weekend of the NCAA tournament?
It's not even close.
A lot of them would say Thursday and Friday and make it as chaotic as possible. Right?
People that don't even follow college basketball, it's the first weekend.
They want the upset.
People look at that St. Peter's win. Right, they look at that St. Peter's win over Purdue and UMBC obviously beating Virginia. I'm not just saying that because you're a Boilermaker.
What a good example!
Yeah,
I'm just saying those two games.
He didn't say Manhattan over.
Yeah,
Florida.
I wonder why you picked that one.
Didn't say
what's one of Arizona's worst losses?
Louise,
Florida.
They had like three of them, dude. Santa Clara, Miami of Ohio, and East Tennessee State. 3 of 4 years I was there, they lost in the first round.
Yeah.
How about that?
That's because you were in school there.
Yeah.
They went to the Final Four the other year. Anyway. All right. Well, listen, I know this was heavy lifting for Rob. We brought him back for almost an hour. So right now
I might quit for real.
He's gassed. Don't even look. By the way, when you skip out 2 weeks in a row, don't be looking for a paycheck.
I don't care.
Oh.
Whatever.
I haven't gotten one yet. When's the check coming?
Honestly, I don't even think I get paid, Matt. So
exactly. I haven't even gotten one. Who's in charge of the payroll?
Moneybags Doster.
Don't look at me for the money.
Oh, I forgot. Oh, it'll be next month. Okay.
Don't look at me for the money.
You guys are like those teams in Spain that I used to play for. Manana.
That's exactly right.
Manana.
Yes.
Keep saying Manana tomorrow. Yeah, okay.
Talk to Doster.
This company is
Hey, today's the first. Today should be payday. Today's the first.
We'll see.
If you don't get it, call Robbie Doster. All right. If you don't have his number, I'll give it to you.
Do I have to file a grievance because I missed some time? Where's the Players Association?
Robbie, I haven't missed any time. Still haven't been paid.
No, you should get paid, man. Okay. You should be paid. Yeah. I had to play blackjack with Jeff. That should be payment. That should be enough to make up for my missed podcast.
All I know is we finally found somebody that could make you look like you knew what you were doing playing blackjack.
Right.
All right. Well, thanks for everybody for joining us.
I gotta go hide the elf. Okay, it's the elf on the shelf. Tomorrow's December 1st. I'm not gonna get paid from the field of 68, but I'm gonna go hide the elf. Okay.
Check your direct deposit. Whatever you do, check it. Again, thanks for everybody for watching, for listening. Thanks to BetMGM for sponsoring. Remember, what's my line again?
Bet responsibly.
Don't think about betting responsibly.
Thanks, guys. Bet responsibly, and we'll see you next week.